Hello everyone, welcome to the early March 2019 Lucky Crit channel update. The last time I made one of these, funnily enough, was about March of last year, so it's pretty much been an exact year since then. And I had some big news back then, and I have some more news for you today. So thank you for tuning in to this episode. These videos don't get very many views. It's usually just the main core fans of the channel that are really wondering what's happening, what's going on, what's the news for this episode. So I just want to say thank you to those of you that are tuning into this episode. It means that you really care about the channel, and that means the world to me. So thank you so much for being a part of this channel, this community, and enjoying the content that I've been producing. So thank you. Now for this episode, I wanted to talk about some recent news and things that have happened. You might have noticed a couple of weeks ago, I started posting more often, and that was kind of something that didn't happen a lot within the past year. In the last channel update, I announced that I actually took on a new job, and it started last March with that video. And since then, the content on the channel, the activity of the channel, everything like that dropped off pretty dramatically. Last year was a pretty incredibly busy year for me, especially around the summertime. I think during the summer, I didn't even upload from like June to like August. So we had a good several month chunk there where I just didn't put out any content at all. So that was quite bad. But I was working on a lot of stuff at that company, and I was also in charge with helping some stuff for a convention that happened last summer. I had to take a trip last summer too, so that was fun, honestly. But it took me away from making content, so wasn't the best. And so the channel as a whole didn't really grow too much in 2018. Not that much happened, and a lot of the things that I was planning on getting to and doing also didn't happen. So it was unfortunate, but overall I'm really happy to have had that experience with that job. It was an amazing job. I met really, really great people, new friends. It was phenomenal overall, and it really helped me out of a challenging time, because before that job, I had spent the last couple of years starting Lucky Crit without a job. And so I worked part-time for some of that. Probably the second year of Lucky Crit is when I picked up a part-time job and started doing that. So that was okay, but then this job really helped me. I've got college loans and stuff like that to finish off paying, so this job really, really helped. Took me into a much better place financially, but unfortunately it also meant that this channel, this thing that I wanted to work on and create my own business out of, hopefully at some point, or something that could at least partially help sustain me, it took me away from that, which was unfortunate. But overall, it was great. But today I'm here to announce that unfortunately I no longer have that job. They decided to move the company down south, so I got laid off once again. And I'm not even sure, even if I had been offered to move down south, if I was going to do that. So, but it's okay. And it wasn't really dropped on me or anything. I knew it was coming for a while. I knew since about last August. So I had time to kind of, think about what was going to happen and plan things out and be okay with it by the time it actually happened. So it's unfortunate because I met a lot of great people, had some good experiences, developed myself further as far as with my career as an artist, a creator, all that kind of stuff. So it really helped me out, and it was great, and really, really grateful to have had that experience. But once again, back to being unemployed, at least for the time being. So what that means for the channel is also, that's why you saw more content. I've been freer now to make more stuff. So a lot of the things that I planned on doing, hopefully I'll be able to get to now at this point. There's a lot that I would like to do, especially within the next coming months. And we'll get to all of that in a second. But once again, thank you so much for continuing to be a fan of the channel, tuning in, checking out the content. I know I've been uploading a lot more often, so that probably was a little weird and shell-shocky for some people. And I've also been doing a little bit more in terms of stream highlights and all that kind of stuff lately to kind of just provide a more varied amount of content, because that's not usually something that I'm very good at. I mean, from day one with developing Lucky Crit, first off, I would never recommend that anybody not have a job and start a YouTube channel like I did. I knew what I was getting into when I did it, and I had gotten laid off and kind of fed up with 9-to-5s and corporate jobs at that point in time. So that's why I really wanted to put all my energy into it and focus on it, because I thought that it could be successful, and I thought that it could go somewhere, and maybe I could be my own boss or something like that. And to a degree, it has worked out a little bit, but within the first year and a half or the first 2 years or whatever, you don't really make very much from YouTube, depending on how fast you grow, of course, and stuff like that. But definitely don't quit your day job to start doing it. I would definitely start it on the side if that's something that you want to do, and build it up from there. And then eventually, if you do make enough from it, then you could leave the day job. But for me, I I don't know. I was young. I felt like I probably wasn't going to get another opportunity within my life because who knows what's going to happen after that point. But, you know, when you're young and don't have that much responsibility, that's kind of the time where you can be freer and experiment and try something. And then if you fail, it's not quite as harmful to everything else in your life, I'd say, than if you're older and you have, you know, other stuff and other people relying upon you. So that was the time for me, and I tried it. And because of that, Lucky Crit was born, and it took a little while to get started and get things started up, but we're here, and we've come a long way since then. And something that I knew from day one was that in order to be successful on YouTube, the more often you uploaded was a clear factor, at least with YouTube's algorithms. If you were able to do daily and consistent content, that was clearly the way to go and the much better way to do things. But for me, I've never been a quantity type of a person. I've always been more of a quality type of person. I would rather release one big, solid episode a month instead of just doing, you know, a random, rushed out, spammed video every single day. I just don't think that's the best way to go. And so that was kind of my approach from the very beginning. But what I didn't realize was just how powerful doing daily consistent content was for the growth of your channel. Even if you could just do it every now and again, it does give a little bit of a growth boost, and your channel definitely benefits from it in the long run. As far as the algorithm, you'll get more views, more subscribers. It's just clearly the much better way to go about things. And so if this is going to be something that I continue to do full time, or at least for the next time being, that's probably going to be more of my approach. Even though I will still be producing more of the long form, harder to make content that's going to take a little bit longer in between releases. So none of that stuff is going away. It's just that for the time being, there will be times when I'm uploading stream highlights or little videos here and there of just, you know, maybe stuff that I have never really uploaded all that much. And so, and you know, there's going to be some more jokey type of content in there, like the Three Wizards trailer that I put up not that long ago. But I think some people do appreciate some of the more comedy type stuff too. So hopefully you'll be interested in seeing more of that, because that's probably going to happen sometimes. But yeah, so that's sort of the new philosophy for the channel. I will be uploading more often to kind of grow the channel a bit more this time around and focus on it a bit better. And I just think in general, fans appreciate it more when there's more of you to watch, when there's more stuff coming around. They'll tune in more often. Whereas, you know, if you go a month in between video releases and stuff like that, they might even forget who you are and, you know, if you existed at all. So that's going to be the new approach for Lucky Crit, and I hope that you're okay with that and that you'll tune into the content and continue to enjoy the videos that you always have. So not too much is going to change when it comes to actual video content. We'll still have a big focus on Fire Emblem. There is a lot of other stuff that I'd like to get back to doing. For example, at some point, someday, I would like to do another Pokemon Go video again. The hype surrounding that game is nowhere near as big as it was before. It kind of just has its main core little audience at this point in time. But it wouldn't be about chasing views or anything. It would be more about the fact that I enjoy it, because I do miss making some of those videos sometimes. And I miss the game overall. I think summer 2016 was a pretty magical time and pretty amazing playing that game. I had such a blast. So I look back on it fondly, and every now and again I feel like making another one of those videos. So someday I'll get back to that and we'll make one of those. I would also like to do something for the anniversary of Echoes this May. I meant to do it last year, but of course, with that new job, it never happened. Maybe we'll do kind of a look back, a little bit of a retrospective on the game, and I'll give you guys my thoughts on it, more of like a review, because I didn't do that the first time around. And there's kind of more that we could talk about with Echoes as well. I never completely finished all of the content that I wanted to make for Echoes on this channel. And at this point, obviously, Echoes is very old news, and most people probably wouldn't tune into that content. But I think at some point, I'll go back and do at least a couple more of those videos that I meant to do originally, even if they're not too heavily viewed. If they help somebody out who's picking up the game, you know, a year from now, 6 months from now, whatever the case may be, then that will fulfill the purpose of the videos and the content anyway. So that'll be fine. Aside from that, I do also want to talk about Anime North, because I will be attending Anime North. We will have a panel as Fire Emblem YouTube creators, which I think is going to be great. I don't think anybody's ever really done this before in this community, so it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a first-time type of deal, and I'll definitely be speaking more about that in its own video on this channel that's going to be coming out soon as well, so I won't dive too much into that, but that's also going to be taking place later in May, and I'll try to vlog a bunch of that and hopefully have some videos to put up on the channel more related to that. So there's going to be some interesting, like, probably IRL stuff that you'll see coming in a little while. And hopefully we'll be able to actually film the panel so that those of you that cannot attend will still be able to join in and watch and see what happens. during that panel. So I'd love to do that. For the time being, when it comes to my career, I will be doing some contract work on the side for that company. So thankfully, not everything is over just yet, and I might be able to hopefully sustain myself for a bit longer, just keeping things the way they are right in this moment now. So hopefully more focus on videos, and I'll also be taking the time to work on their stuff on the side as well. Just, you know, not as 9 to 5 busy as I was before. So I think things will be okay. I don't know long term if this is going to play out or how long it's going to take for things to have to change. At some point, I might end up needing to get another real job again, and so we might go through another period like, you know, early 2018. But at the end of the day, I'm always going to try to keep uploading content because I love doing it. I love you guys out there. I like making videos. I like sharing stuff with the world. And there's so many more videos and concepts that I just really want to make and get out there. So that's going to be something that I'll be focused on for a while to come. So no matter what happens, we'll still keep making stuff. I've also had some pretty darn successful videos on this channel talking about stuff completely different than Fire Emblem, like Golden Sun, Advance Wars. I guess Advance Wars is not that different, but you get the idea. I do like going back and talking about like old school Game Boy Advance era games because I grew up with those, and not too many people out there are talking about them, so I would love to talk about some of my more favorite games. There's so many obscure but really amazing RPG games that I would love to talk about on this channel and get to at some point in time. So hopefully you'll indulge me a little bit and we'll get back around to doing those. Those tend to be longer form videos, a little bit longer and harder to make than the usual kind of content. So probably just every once in a while, as they've been. But everybody really seemed to enjoy some of those videos that I've done before, like those two. So I definitely want to get back to that at some point because I love talking about some of those games as well. So yeah, that's going to just about do it for this one. Just wanted to give you guys a bit of an update and explain what's been happening over the past while, and kind of give you some thoughts about some of the content that's going to be coming within the near future. So hopefully you'll be excited for all of that. Once again, thank you for tuning in here today, checking out the news, caring about the channel, and about where things are going and what's happening with stuff. Thank you so much. I couldn't ask for a better audience than you guys. You guys are incredible. I don't have words, but thank you. Thank you so much. So I'll see you guys in the next episode. We're doing an Anime North video on this channel as well to kind of announce that. And when we get closer to Anime North, I'll do another video to kind of re-announce and reiterate that. So hopefully you'll look forward to all that, as well as the normal content. Probably some more Three Houses stuff as we get closer to the release of that. And I'd like to do more Hero stuff. There's just so many updates when it comes to Fire Emblem Heroes that it's incredibly challenging for me to keep up to date with it. Maybe if I found a quicker way to make just smaller videos or something like that, I might experiment with that in the future, but I'm not sure. Because I tend to not like just, I don't know, creating a simple little video where it's like a minute long where we talk about whatever new banners announced or whatever, but we'll see what happens. I'll try to keep you guys as up to date with Heroes news as possible. I know a lot of you guys also watch other Heroes channels and stuff like that, so I don't really want to retread the same ground necessarily, but if I have something to provide to a conversation, that's usually when I'll make a video on it or talk about it, or even just share some stuff over a live stream like I've been doing, so hopefully you'll appreciate that. And there's definitely going to be live stream highlights and stuff like that to come up afterwards if you do miss out on those. If you want to stay up to date on everything with this channel, be sure to follow us on Twitter. And you can also join us on our Discord because there's going to be news posted there as well. And if you want to talk a little bit closer beyond these videos, we have a pretty great community over there on our Discord as well. I love the people there. Thank you to everybody that's joined there and become a really great part of our little community there. So thank you for checking that out. Links, as always, are in the description down below. Thank you so much, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Thank you.